Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Kalachakra Krishna Prabhu ji, Dandavat Pranams.
Venkatramana Prabhu, I think the date is incorrect, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Hope you can hear me now.
Prabhuji, your voice is little low.
1 second, Prabhuji.
Yes, Sankrishna Priya Prabhu ji. I think it was Saturday that day, right?
Is it better now, Prabhu?
Yeah, little better, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji, it is little better than earlier.
Okay. I hope you are able to hear me.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, great. Let me see if my video works now. Is it okay now, Prabhu? Video available?
Yes, Prabhuji. Venkatramana Prabhu, we can start now, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu ji.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very fortunate to have our dear devotee Kalachakra Krishna Prabhu. Prabhuji will be enlightening us from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter number 6, and Sloka number 18, from the chapter titled The Activities of Rishabhadeva. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much, Prabhuji, for accepting the request. And
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for the opportunity, Prabhu. The Saturday morning we can absorb ourselves with some Bhagavatam discussion. The presence of all you wonderful devotees will be even more present. Thank you. Okay, so I will start with the Mangalacharya, Prabhu.
yes, Prabhuji, you want me to share the screen or how it is, Prabhu?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, because the verses.
Okay. Prabhuji, can the voice be better? You have wired earphone or something like that, Prabhu. I think it will. It's not like usual. Usually it will be very loud and clear from you.
It's 1 minute. Let me see.
Just give us a couple of minutes. Yes, Prabhuji.
Let's see this. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Prabhu, but the voice is little, low and little, shabby actually.
Volume says maximum for the. Let me try but for some reason in the system my wired headphone is not working.
Oh, okay. Venkatramana Prabhu, how about you? Is it only me or for you it is okay?
I'm in the.
It's clear, Prabhu. I'm not seeing anything otherwise.
Please go ahead, Prabhuji. Otherwise, I think others are. I'm using the speaker phone.
Prabhu, it's low only, Prabhu. Clear,
low?
It's clear, but it's low volume, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Clear but low volume, huh?
Mm.
Okay, let me see. If I maximum mic first. Am I audible now?
It's little better, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. I think it is little better than. Right, Mataji? Rani Mataji?
Am I audible now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu, it's better.
Sorry. Is it better now?
Yes, Prabhu, it's better now.
Okay, so same system. It said three different things are there. Which one should I use? How is it now?
That is okay, Prabhuji. Okay, better now. You can start from.
Is it better than the wireless one, or is it still the same?
I think it is better than a wireless one, Prabhu.
Okay, then we'll proceed with this sound then. Okay, so let me chant the Mangalachan prayers then. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutapadakamalaṁ Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaganaragunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Mande Shri Gurun Dinataharinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Meshwaram Namo Vishnu Pada Vishnu Prabhu Prashti Mano Vishnu Swami Namo Namo Vishnu Pada Vishnu Prashti Devi Swami Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Vicharani Nirvishesha Sundavadi Chakradeshikarani. 1 second, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So this is a beautiful verse, 5, 6, 18. Let's try to chant this verse. It's in Brahma Samhita meter, Vasanta Tilakam. So, Rajan Patir Gururalam Bhavatam Yadunam Daivam Priyah Kulapatih Kwachakinkaro Vaha Astveva Manga Bhagavan Bhajatam Mukundo Muktin Dadati Karhichis Manabhakti Yogam. So I will just go for the word for word. Sankarshan Prabhuji, we have to go till 8 o'clock or what time?
We can go up to 8:15, Prabhuji.
Okay.
8:15, 8:20, Prabhu. Today is a holiday, so.
Holidays. Okay. Nice. Okay, so let me read the word for word then. Rajan, O my dear king, Patihi, maintainer, Guru, spiritual master, Alam, certainly, Bhavatam, of you, Yadunam, the Yadu dynasty, Daivam, the worshipable deity, Priyaha, very dear friend, Kulapatihi, the master of the dynasty, Kvacha, sometimes even, Kinkaraha, servant, Vaha, of you, the Pandavas, Astu, to be sure, Evam, thus, Anga, O king, Bhagavan, the supreme personality of Godhead, Bhajatam, of those devotees engaged in service. Mukundaha, the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Muktim, liberation. Dadati delivers, Karikshit at any time, Sma indeed, Na not, Bhakti Yogam, loving devotional service. Translation and purport based in case Abhay Sharana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please hear. Shukadev Goswami continued, my dear king, the supreme person Mukunda is actually the maintainer of all the members of the Pandava and Yadu dynasties. He is your spiritual master, worshipable deity, friend, and the director of all your activities. To say nothing of this, he sometimes serves your family as a messenger or servant. This means you work just as an ordinary servant too. Those engaged in getting the Lord's favor attain liberation from the Lord very easily, but he does not very easily give the opportunity to render direct service unto him. Purport. While instructing Maharaj Parikshit, Shukadev Goswami thought it wise to encourage the king because the king might be thinking of the glorious position of various royal dynasties. Especially glorious is the dynasty of Priyavrata, in which the Supreme Lord Rishabhadeva incarnated. Similarly, the family of Uttanapada Maharaj, the father of Maharaj Dhruva, is also glorious due to King Prithu's taking birth in it. The dynasty of Maharaj Raghu is glorified because Lord Ramachandra appeared in that family. As far as the Yadu and Kuru dynasties are concerned, they existed simultaneously. But of the two, the Yadu dynasty was more glorious due to the appearance of Lord Krishna. Maharaj Parikshit might have been thinking that the Kuru dynasty was not as fortunate as the others because the Supreme Lord did not appear in that family. Neither as Krishna, Lord Ramachandra, Lord Rishabhadeva, or Maharaj Prithu. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj was encouraged by Shukadev Goswami in this particular verse. The Kuru dynasty may be considered more glorious due to the presence of devotees like the 5 Pandavas who rendered unalloyed devotional service. Although Lord Krishna did not appear in the Kuru dynasty, he was so obligated to the Pandavas' devotional service that he acted as a maintainer of the family and spiritual master of the Pandavas. Although he took birth in the Yadu dynasty, Lord Krishna was more affectionate to the Pandavas. By his actions, Lord Krishna proved that he was more inclined to the Kuru dynasty than the Yadu dynasty. Indeed, Lord Krishna indebted to the Pandavas' devotional service, sometimes acted as their messenger, and he guided them through many dangerous situations. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit should not have been saddened because Lord Krishna did not appear in his family. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always inclined toward his pure devotees, and by his action, it is clear that liberation is not very important for the devotees. Lord Krishna easily gives one liberation, but he does not so easily give one the facility to become a devotee. Muktin dadati karhichit smana bhakti yogam. Directly or indirectly, it is proved that bhakti yoga is the basis for the supreme relationship with the Supreme Lord. It is far superior to liberation. For a pure devotee of the Lord, mukti is automatically attained. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Transcendental Purport Ki Jai. So Prabhu's Mataji's such a glorious verse and purport, and I thank you for giving me an opportunity to meditate on this wonderful verse. This entire episode of Lord Rishabhadev itself is so amazing and so potent and very deep in the devotion, embellished with full of devotion, along with an intensity to an intensive thing towards penance, austerity and penance, because there are many times we tend to take it a bit lightly, saying that our devotional service is all about just eat, drink and be merry, or eat, dance and be merry, those kind of things. But then tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam, when Rishabhadev was talking to his sons, giving instructions to his son, he was very specific about not wasting this any moment of this our lifetime also in frivolous things. And there are chapters which you have already seen, how Rishabhadeva showed that he is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he so expertly guided all the dependent citizens and everyone else, including his own sons. And when the time came, he gave the responsibilities delegated the responsibilities to his son Bharata and renounced and went to the forest. Now, the question that was asked at the beginning of this chapter is very interesting, because Rishabhadeva was exhibiting all different kinds of mystic potencies that are all explained already, the early part of this, the previous chapter, later part of the previous chapter, how he was, even while going into the forest, he was exhibiting so many wonderful mystic potencies, the different activities that he was exhibiting. But even then, he was very particular about not getting attracted to those mystic yogas, and also he was very particular about controlling the mind. So this question is so beautifully asked by Parikshit Maharaj to Sukadeva Goswami, that why did he, for the devotees anyway, mystic yoga is not a problem. They will not be attracted to it. So why did he neglect them? Sukadeva Goswami says beautifully that as a response to that, after that only these verses come. You would have read these 2-3 verses, but good to recap them again. But then he says beautifully an example that if a hunter, after capturing the animal, will not just let it go freely, thinking that it is under his control. Because the animal can escape anytime, any different ways it can escape. So he has to make sure that it is properly captured and tied so that it doesn't escape from his control. So that's why devotees are always vigilant, and they are always very watchful of the mind's action at every moment. Watchful in the sense they're not letting it get neglected at all. You should never neglect, be careless and neglect the mind. So because it is very restless, it may cheat us at any moment. And so many examples are there in the past, the history, who even after attaining perfection, just by a little distraction by the mind, they got deviated and fell down. So he says these important things here, and then how Rishabhadeva started exhibiting his full renunciation in the forest, unknown to anybody, unseen by anybody, and he's completely closed his mouth, not speaking anything, completely like an avadhuta. While this is the highest form of renunciation, even practiced by many of the other pure devotees. Like if you see how Yudhishthira Maharaj left in his after Krishna's departure, how he spent his last few days in this material world is almost kind of similar to what Rishabhadeva is exhibiting here. And there are also many other kings who took Vanaprastha, and they just left the kingdom, opulence, everything, and just went once and for all, no return, kind of. So this is something which is very, very important to note, and appreciate the glorious instructions that Rishabhadeva gives, that after you achieve everything, this world, it's very important to give up something which is very dear to us. Even the anything that is dear to us, we should be ready to give up. Otherwise, in the name of devotional service, we have not yet got attraction to Krishna's service, because the word itself, Prabhupada says, translates so beautifully, no one could have imagined even about it, that bhakti, Prabhupada translates as devotional service. So there is a service that is involved in there, right? So without service, one cannot say I have devotion. Now, this comes to our point now that the previous verse, that is 17th verse, these both are connected actually. It is said nicely. I will read the translation, 5, 6, 17. Devotees always bathe themselves in devotional service in order to be relieved from the various tribulations of material existence. By doing this, the devotees enjoy supreme bliss, and liberation personified comes to serve them. Nonetheless, they do not accept that service, even if it is offered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. For the devotees, liberation, mukti, is very unimportant, because having attained the Lord's transcendental loving service, they have attained everything desirable and have transcended all material desires. So this is very interesting, because one will be able to stick to this verse reveals a very important point. Very, very important point. What is that? We will be able to stick to the process of devotional service only when we see this as the topmost system, topmost yoga system, topmost path to reach Krishna or please Krishna. And the second thing is we should take full pleasure while doing this seva, not with a begrudging attitude, not with a frustrated attitude, not with a envious or pride. All these things should not be there. The moment they creep in, our devotional service becomes stale, and we start doing it as a because as soon as the material things creep in, the expectations start building. When the expectations start building, then the problem is that we do as a false. What is that? Fal based, that the fruity mentality. The same devotional service itself, we do it with the fruity mentality. And when we do it with the fruity mentality, the problem is that we always look for something in return for whatever we are doing. And that really spoils the entire process, Prabhu's Mother. It's something which is to be seriously taken into account. Because if you see, many of us have this, for quite some years, we have been in devotional service. We are going around, we are doing various sevas and all that without any much of a, frustration or thing, so much as possible. But then somewhere, someplace, the thing will creep in. The expectations will creep in, fruits, I've done this, I want this, etc., etc. Then it completely spoils. It's like adding a drop of poison to the big bowl of milk, the poison, whether you add it to a small cup or a big vessel, it's the same. One drop is enough. It spoils the whole thing. So here, this is in this particular verse. That is why it is said that the liberation personified comes to serve the devotees personally. To that extent, Krishna is willing to give this thing, right, for devotees. But nonetheless, they do not accept that service, even if it is offered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. It's a very interesting verse, Even if it is offered by Krishna himself, devotees don't accept. This is one thing that devotees don't accept when Krishna gives. When he gives pains, when he gives challenging situations, when he gives unfavorable circumstances, they will accept. But when Krishna gives liberation, they don't accept, especially when they come, when the liberation personified comes to serve them. In other words, we get attached to that liberation. We eventually, when we accept the service from Mukti Devi. So the reason is because the pleasure, transcendental pleasure that the devotees experience by performing devotional service is so much more greater that liberations, even if the Mukti Devi herself comes and offers her service to us, they don't really appreciate it. Imagine, liberation means it's not an ordinary thing. All kinds of old age, birth, disease, everything, whatever the attractions, desires, kama, krodha, lobha, nothing will be there. Even at that stage, devotees don't accept it. You know why? Because there is no opportunity to serve Krishna. in the state of mukti or in the state of liberation. That is the one thing that devotees don't want to give up at any cost. They can give up all kinds of opulences, anything that is given to them. Anybody comes and says, come on, you give all your wealth, come on, you take it. It's not going to be with me. You give all your possessions and properties and everything, they will just give. But one thing they will not give up is their desire to serve Krishna. And that is why mukti is considered as something very dangerous or in one word, distracting also. So it can be easily distracting. So ideally they want to stay in the constitutional position, eternal constitutional position, which is mukti hitva anyata rupam swarupena vyavasthiti. That is the definition of mukti from Bhagavatam. Sankarshan Prabhu is asking a question: is this applicable to specific type of mukti or any type of mukti? Any type of mukti, Prabhu. There is no, which if you are talking about salokya, sarupya, those things also, they are all not they are not considered as the mukti, Prabhu. But at the same time, there also, without service, they will not accept it. I will show you one verse which is very similar to this. What is that verse? I think it is 3:29:13. Salokya, sarupya, samipya. One second. That's the one, Prabhu. I think you got the right one. See, this verse is very beautiful to give answer to your question also, Prabhu. Salokya, sarshti, samipya, sarupyaika ekatvam apyuta. Diyamanam na grihnanti vina matsevanam janaha. What he is saying is, Salokya is living on the same planet, Sarshti having the same opulence as Krishna, Samipya personally associating with him, Sarupya having the same bodily features, Ekatvam is oneness. This is the mukti part. Diyamanam, being offered, even if I offer them, Krishna himself is offering them, Vina matsevanam janaha. If there is no opportunity for service, they will not accept these things also. Do you get it? Does that answer your question, Prabhu? It's a very beautiful verse. It is. Vina matsevanam janaha. Vina matsevanam janaha is the key line there. Vina matsevanam means without my service, my devotees won't accept it. Any of these things that I give. Sarupya, see, even the one, what is that? To be a personal associate, Samipya, that is also they won't accept. And Salokya means even in Golokam Dhavan, if Krishna asks them to stay, they will not stay if the service opportunity is not there. It's a very, very key word. You know why? Because there is an interesting thing that is there. Why devotional service is the highest? If you read this, where is that? In the purport, I think one line Prabhupada says, why devotional service is cannot be matched by any other paths. One place it written very nicely. The thing is, while doing devotional service, pure devotional service, devotees don't expect anything for themselves. Anything. They don't accept anything. Even say Krishna's reciprocation or anything for that matter, they don't worry about it. And that is the real unique monopoly of devotional service, which you will not find in anything else. Pandavas, they were doing this, they were throughout their life, they were serving. But they were not expecting anything from Krishna. They prayed to Krishna when they were in difficulty, but they were not expecting that Krishna, I did this, you do this now to me. That kind of a thing was not there at all. So that is why Krishna was very much indebted to them, right? Whereas if you go to any other things like liberation or anything where there is no service attitude, without service attitude, na matsevanam janaha, then there is a danger of the whole thing getting converted into fruity mentality. It's saying, I have done this much, then why Krishna is not doing return to me? I've been worshipping him for so long. Why he is not responding to me? These kind of thoughts will come to us. As soon as that thought comes, our devotional service get distracted or and diluted. So I hope that helps. That is the reason Krishna himself is not able to give up the association of the devotees. Okay, Sankarshan is asking, then we say our goal of life is to go back to Godhead. What does this imply, Prabhuji? See, our goal of life is to go back to Godhead means you are doing all these things, eventually going back to Godhead. But that does not mean physically going back to Godhead only. You get it? Narada Muni is not in Godhead. He is always moving about. But he is in Godhead. Why? Because he is always carrying Krishna in his heart. So our goal of life is to always carry Krishna in our heart. That way you understand this going back to Godhead. Because pure devotees, Sarga Apavarga Narakeshu Tulayan Alpadarshinaha, they don't care whether they are in Naraka or Swargaloka. They are very much happy wherever Krishna puts them in the service. Now, Prabhupada, which loka is serving, we don't know. Krishna would have sent him to some other loka and come on, there is one other planet there. There also, you need to deliver all these people. He might be serving somewhere else. So for them, except service, nothing else is important. So when you are actually in the service, you are in Godhead. That is what we should understand. But the going back to Godhead means what it actually means is not taking repeated birth and death again and again. Materially, right? Now what we are doing is we have taken a material birth, material body. We have got a material body. We got a birth based on our karma. And then we are trying to convert it or purify it through devotional service or filling it up with devotional service so that no more that material body will remain. Correct? But till we leave the body, the last moment, that material body is the last attachment, it will still be there. Even though we may be Jivan Mukta, whatever we say, but at the end of the day, even though we may be Jivan Mukta, still as long as this body is with us, we cannot consider ourselves fully liberated. That is one point, right? So devotees, they consider as long as they are engaged in the service, they are in Godhead. For us, going back to Godhead means not coming back. We can come back to this world, but not due to our karma. We can come back to this world based on Guru and Krishna's order. They will say, you go back to this place and deliver them. You go to some other place and you give Krishna consciousness to them. We go. You got the point, Prabhuji? I hope it helps, even if others had some questions about it. I'm happy to have this interactive thing. Please post your questions as we go along. I mean, you don't have to wait till the end. So this is how we should understand what is back to Godhead means. Back home, back to Godhead means, this is what Prabhupada implied. Means being always with Krishna. And always looking for opportunity to serve Krishna. Not for my pleasure, but for Krishna's pleasure. This is the difference. Even among devotees also, many times when we do for my pleasure, I want to serve Krishna. There also there is it's inferior compared to the other. Sometimes why? Because I will start choosing services. Hey, this gives me more pleasure, I will take this service. That gives me less pleasure, I will not take that service. Like that. That is not way of liberation. When I have these different comparisons between services, naturally we are in the bodily consumption, or at least in the mental consumption. We should transcend these levels, gross and subtle bodies, when we are doing devotional. And devotional service is the only process which can dissolve both the gross and the subtle bodies. Nigirnam analo yatha. Jarayati ashuya kosham nigirnam analoyata. This is the definition of the unique feature of devotional service that is given in Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 25th chapter, I think, verse number 32 or 31 or 32. Only 2 lines is there. Jarayati ashuya kosham. Ashuya kosham. Jarayati means dissolve or burn, completely disappear. Kosham means subtle body. Even the subtle body can disappear only through the process of pure devotional service. Nigirnam analoyata. Just like when you put the food, the fire in the body digests the food and energizes the whole body. It completely dissolves the whole, all the different chemicals or different elements. It just dissolves completely. There is no more thing in the body. You may eat some dal and rice, but that is not staying as dal and rice in the body. It is naturally transformed into energy, right? Like that, bhakti is the only process by which we can completely dissolve even the subtle body. In all other processes, subtle body will still remain to some extent. But this is the only process of subtle body. The subtle body is where the desires come from, the mind and intelligence, right? They will carry the desires, little desires. Oh, I am coming to the temple for all these years. Why nobody is acknowledging me? Why nobody is appreciating me? That doesn't work with Krishna, these kind of little expectations. So it's very important to note that. So for devotees, it is very, very important to do the service in this mood. That I don't want anything, absolutely anything. I don't want anything. The only thing I want is Krishna. I should do the best of my possibility to do serve Krishna. Again, who is this Samsung? May know who is that devotee? I don't have the name. If I can address them there accordingly. It's confusing. The goal of life is going back to what here they say that devotees don't desire mukti. If we should be in that state of no rebirth into this world, then it should be that we will be liberated. Please explain. I don't know if I should address your Prabhu Mataji. Sorry.
Prabhu, it is me, Prabhu, Radharani.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Nice to meet you, Mataji. See, this is very simple, Mataji. Actually, see, this part is confusing. Going back to what it is mukti. We don't desire mukti if we should be in the state of no rebirth into this world. See, this is totally taken care by Krishna. You understand one thing very clearly. For devotees, everything that Krishna gives is the right thing. They don't care what he does. He gives them a gross body, he gives them animal body also, they don't care. Bhakti Notakur prays that way, no? You give me ant body or tiger body or cockroach body, any body you give, I don't care. But I want to be somehow or other engaged in your service. That is the only thing they are asking for, right? So, this mukti thing, see, the reason they don't want mukti is because there is no service opportunity there. Even if Krishna gives, as we read in this verse also, even staying next to Krishna is not pleasurable for them if there is no service. Vina matsevanam janaha. Staying next to him is perfectly fine if there is service opportunity. You understand? So, this goal of life is going back to Godhead actually means eternally engaging in Krishna's service. That's all it means. But pure devotees don't even want that, don't even care whether Krishna keeps them next to him in the devotion, in the Golokundavan, or is sending them to somewhere else. For pure devotees, there is no problem. For them to going and coming is not a problem. Going back to Godhead means in our consciousness. For us, we are thinking still we are in the bodily conception. So we are thinking that like I am going from Chennai to Delhi or Bangalore to Hyderabad, I will be going from here to Golokunda in this body. No. Right? The Atma means it's fully consciousness. So the consciousness will be carried to the consciousness will be in that state of service mode. Sevanarupam. Udayona Paravaratvam. Even Prahlad Maharaj is asking for the same thing. Is it clear, Radharani Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, it is clear, but it is like controversy.
What is the
I mean, other day.
controversy? Very clear for me. I don't know where is the
Yeah.
controversy.
No, the thing is, we should be in the service of the Lord. That means if we go to Goloka, we will not have any service.
No. See, going to Goloka also, see, they are giving an imaginary situation, hypothetical situation, Mataji. There is no possibility of being without service in Goloka Vrindavan. But what they are saying is, what Krishna himself is saying is Kapil Muni's verse it is. What he himself is saying is that if I give this benediction of the devotees to come and stay in Goloka Vrindavan also, they will not stay if there is no service. For them, service is more important than even to stay in Goloka Vrindavan. You get it?
That is correct, Prabhu. That I agree. But the ultimate goal of our thing is we have to go back to him.
Correct. That is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. Going back to Godhead means consciousness.
Okay.
Now, see, that is what many of the acharyas they do. How come Narad Muni is traveling everywhere? How come Sudarshan Chakra is traveling whenever Krishna sends him out, he goes. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sends devotees, you go here, you go there. For them, staying with him is the best, the thing that they will like the most. But Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sending them to all different places for preaching and all. They are happy going to preach. Why Prabhupada left Vrindavan and went to the west to preach? Vrindavan is Goloka Vrindavan for him.
Correct.
Non-different from Goloka Vrindavan for him. For a pure devotee, this Vrindavan is non-different from Goloka Vrindavan. We will only find, when our mind is contaminated, we will find differences in that way. But for someone like Prabhupada, that's a place where he would want to leave the body. But then he wanted to follow the orders of the spiritual master. And that is the highest way of serving Krishna, following the orders of implementing and putting into practice the orders of the spiritual master.
Okay. So that means we should not pray anything. Don't ask for anything.
Simply
and then leave
serve.
it to him.
That's all.
Yes.
Simply serve. That's all.
Yes.
There is nothing that can match to the service. Because a little bit of service with all mixed devotion and everything, we get so much pleasure. How much more pleasure will be, they will be getting, the pure devotees will be getting. Bhishmadev was lying in the bed of arrows and he was getting so much pleasure in serving Krishna. Whatever Krishna said, he did. He would have left the body very early, much early. But he waited for Krishna's instruction. Right?
Yes.
So waiting for Krishna's instruction is also a service. Sincerely praying to him and waiting for Krishna. Because Krishna, we can't go and say, come on, Krishna, I'm waiting for 10 minutes. You give me service to do. We can't demand. Right?
Yes.
When Krishna is giving to different people different services, we'll have to wait patiently. When Krishna comes and gives, we can't say, Krishna, I think you forgot. I'm standing here for 1 hour. We can't do that.
Yes.
So that is really service. You see, service means we ourselves being conscious of Krishna always. Conscious of Krishna means conscious of the pleasure of Krishna. Conscious, always thinking that, why Krishna, how can I please Krishna, how can I Krishna? And that will in turn inspire many more people to be conscious of Krishna's pleasure.
Okay. Yes.
That's what Prabhupada did, because for him, serving Guru is a pleasure, is the highest way of pleasing Krishna. And serving Guru means he has to leave Vrindavan and go to the west. And that is what he did. And now you see the whole world is filled with devotees. There is no caste, creed, religion, culture, whatever. Everybody is doing things together. That's because of his correct understanding and application of the service bhava, seva bhava. Got it?
But,
So back to Godhead actually means Seva Bhav, Mataji, nothing else.
Prabhu, some time ago, one of your lectures, you said, Anayasena Maranam Vina Dainyena Jivanam. You told that sloka because that was very impressive for me. I just recite. So, Dehantre Tavasanidhyam Dehime Parameshwaram, you say, no, Prabhu?
Yeah.
That means it's only the consciousness there also?
Yeah, it is consciousness. Anayasena Maranam. I want Krishna. The reason I am saying Anayasena Maranam is because I don't want to trouble anybody. It's not that I don't want to feel the pain of my last moments. That is not the reason. The thing is, the moment I am bedridden, so many people have to come around and serve me. Why they should waste their time in serving this useless person? Like that, the devotees will be thinking.
Okay.
So that is the reason they are saying Anayasena Maranam Vina Dainyena Jivanam. I don't want to extend my hand for begging to anybody and everybody. The only person whom I should beg is my Guru and Krishna, that's all. In other words, begging also means expectation, demanding. It's not just going and please give me, not that one. If I say, come on, you are not giving me a good room to stay, can't you do this? This is also begging only. Demanding begging.
Okay.
So this I'm demanding. Come on, you give me this, give me that. You will come here, drop me here, give me prasadam, this, that. All these are against Seva Bhav, you see. So whatever comes in the way of Seva Bhav, disrupting the Seva Bhav, the devotee doesn't want that. That's why he is asking for that thing to Krishna.
So that means we can come back to this earth again?
Yeah, doesn't matter. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying now. Kida janma havyata tuva dasa, Brahma janma bahirmukha nahi asha. He says that in that Manasa Deho beautifully. He says, I can even take the body of an insect. Kida janma havyata tuva dasa. If as long as I am your servant, I think Prabhuji is searching for this Anayasena Maranam. I can see that he's doing it in the background. Prabhu, if you want, you can just go to the Mahavishnu Goswami.com website and you can search in the Grantaraj, Prabhu. We have posted that in many places. Sorry for the distraction. So Mataji, you understood that point, that these are all interruptions to our service to Krishna. Anayasena Dainyena Jivanam. When I am expecting somebody to do something, it is actually my devotion is also not there and I am disturbing the other person's devotion also. So instead of that person doing it out of pleasure, he will do it out of a duty or obligation. Oh, if I don't do this, it will be a Vaishnava Aparadha. How many times you have done that? Oh, this person is demanding too much. And we have to do it as a obligation. Oh my God, when will he go? He will create that kind of a mentality in the minds of people. How difficult, how painful it is to have that kind of a thing between devotees, forget about others. So it's consciousness at the end of the day, Mataji. So we have to keep our consciousness in the Seva Bhav. Right? Our limbs will not work all the time. We will have to be bedridden. At that time, not everybody will come and keep asking us, oh, what do you want, all those things. They will have their own busy things to do because their body, they also have a body in which they will have to suffer. We don't know. We are confined only to this body and we can understand the pains and pleasures only in this body. So why unnecessarily put others into trouble? So that is why Anayasena Maranam. At that point, I will not be able to actively move here and there. I may not be able to get the prasadam, food as and when I want, whatever I want. At that time, how can I meditate on Krishna, remember Krishna and chant his names, at least in the mind? That is the real challenge, So that's where we are. That's where we will go back to Godhead.
Okay, Prabhu. So I don't know, my thinking was, well, we go back and then we'll be only in the service of Krishna in Goloka and nothing else.
Even now you are in Godhead, Mataji. Why do you, it's our consciousness that is stopping us. If you see, we are discussing about Krishna, right here we are experiencing Krishna. Krishna is the one who is sorting out the things in our mind, the logics in our mind and making us convinced. And when we are getting an answer to the question which is convincing us, then it means Krishna is entering into our mind and is making it happen. That's why we feel some peace of mind, some happiness when we get some answers to our questions. What to speak of getting answers to the question? Even asking the question itself is Krishna only spares. So we should be happy. As soon as we get a question, we should experience Krishna. Hey, Krishna is there in the form of question. Now we let him come in the form of answer. So in every moment you read Prabhupada's purports, such a beautiful purport, we can enjoy them like anything.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Sorry for taking so much of time.
No problem. No problem. Please, we have to ask. Frankly speaking, I'm very glad that somebody is asking questions and trying to ask more, to inquire further to get the clarification, instead of superficially accepting, thinking that others will feel disturbed. Because these are all things which are still in all our minds, Mataji. We have to get these things out of the system so that our consciousness flows without any interruption, like a pure river. You see, and one of the important things that which we should see here is in the verse number 17. Why this service is very important, and that is where 17 and 18 are connected. If you open that verse number 17, this chapter 5, 6, 17, and see the word for word equivalents, towards the end, it's a very interesting thing. Bhagavadiyatvena eva. Bhagavadiyatvena eva. See, this word is very interesting. Prabhupada is writing, because of a relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhu's Mataji. This is an amazing thing, Because of a relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead. This relationship is the main key factor in our desire for seva. The more we feel a connection with Krishna and Guru, the more we would want to do seva. Not in the way I want, but in the way Krishna needs, Krishna demands. You got it? And this relationship is what will be missing in the mukti. And that is why devotees, they hate mukti, because I cannot exhibit, or I cannot practice my relationship with Krishna through the seva. There it will all be just peace and shanta and all that. So there is no not much. There is a little bit of opportunity, but not as much as a devotee wants. So for a devotee, the service is the most important. And why service is most important? Because that will nurture the relationship between us and Krishna. And that constant nurturing of the relationship is what is called loving devotional service. That is how love develops. Isn't it? When we truly love somebody, we don't just do once some seva and say, oh, this is it for this lifetime, don't bother me anymore. Don't do. We want to their family members, we give them, even if they don't appreciate our sevas. Isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Why do we do that? Because we are naturally loving them. On the other hand, Krishna is reciprocating even more. In fact, there is a nice, interesting, a very nice, interesting incident from Dwarka. You must have heard this, but it's nice to recollect again. When Krishna is in Dwarka, every day in the morning after his morning prayers and all, he will come out of his home and distribute different gifts or whatever the people come and ask. So many people, this long queue will be there, and you will give one by one, some of them jewels, some of them some land, some of them some grains or whatever, and some different things. I want to go here, I want to go there, etc., etc. So Narad Muni visits him once, and at that time he is watching what Krishna is doing. So he's just, anybody who is coming and asking for these material things, immediately he sends some, gives and sends them. Somebody comes and asks, Krishna, I want a pure devotional service to you. Then he says, you wait for some time. You push them aside and put them the waiting list. So Narad Muni is perplexed. Krishna, these are people who don't want any material things, and these are things where they are just asking for bhakti. Why are you not giving them? Because no, you don't know, Narad Muni. Anybody whom I bestow devotional service, pure devotional service, I will have to become their slaves. So I should know, I should test who is that person, is he genuine in his desire. I have to test. Only then I can become slave. Otherwise, he will just ask for something and then he will make me go mad, drive me here, here and there. So this is a very nice, interesting situation which explains how powerful is devotional service. Because the devotees are always loving or eager to do devotional service, Krishna gives them that opportunity. And when that opportunity, they take full advantage of it, then they nurture the relationship with loving relationship with Krishna by offering their loving service. And Krishna in turn gives more and more and more. And whatever Krishna is giving, that also they are engaging again in his service only. They don't want anything for themselves. Like Tukaram, you see how so many things Krishna is giving, still he is giving it all to everyone. He doesn't keep anything for himself. That is real devotion. That is exactly what Krishna wants. You see, so this line is very key to connect these two verses. Because of a relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for the devotees, I'm reading from the translation, liberation is very unimportant because having attained the Lord's transcendental loving service, they have attained everything desirable and have transcended our material desires. So even liberation is categorized under material thing only, because I want desire, I want peace, I want happiness. That is what is in liberation. Here there is no I want in devotional service. Krishna wants. For Krishna wants something, I want to do this for him. Guru Maharaj wants something, I am doing this for him. That is pure devotional service, without expecting anything for myself. That is a very key thing. And once what is this relationship now? Now this relationship matures into all the different things that is listed here. This is very nice, really. Some good points are there to discuss, but I thought of discussing that. I don't know how much time we have. Anyway, I will just read this thing. See what all things that is listing, the relationship. He is the maintainer of the members of the Pandava and Yadu dynasties, spiritual master, guru, worshipable deity, Daivam, friend, Suhrida, then director of all your activities, and serves as a messenger, a servant, and everything. These kind of the services that Krishna returns in reciprocation to the devotee services. And there is a very beautiful verse. This is spoken by Sukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj, this particular verse. Actually, as Prabhupada writes, he is doing this as an encouragement to Parikshit Maharaj, as Prabhupada writes beautifully in the purport, that Parikshit Maharaj would have felt, this is what a spiritual master does. He recognizes what might be going on in the minds of the listener or the disciple. So he feels that, Parikshit Maharaj is thinking like this. Dhruva Maharaj is there, Puthu Maharaj, then Rishabhadev, they are all Krishna's incarnation. So in their family, Krishna appeared. But in my family, Kuru dynasty, we have not seen him appearing. But then it's the important duty of the spiritual master, or anybody who is a preacher, not only spiritual master, anybody who is a devotee, to give encouragement to the devotees or anybody who is audience. We have to give encouragement to them. We should never, our Bhagavatam classes or discussions should never make us feel morose and go away. At the end of the Bhagavatam class, the eagerness to do service should be multiplied. At least it should be multiplied, if not exponentially multiplied. That's because Bhagavatam is full of encouraging verses, full of encouragement. So when we are disturbed, when we take to Bhagavatam, it is very pleasing. Why? Because it is full of encouragement. See in this last line, how nicely Prabhupada is encouraged by Sukadeva Goswami in this particular verse, isn't it? He is saying this. Yes. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj is encouraged by Sukadeva Goswami in this particular verse. He feels. See, the thing is, Sukadeva Goswami doesn't have any feeling that Krishna didn't take birth in my family. Of course, his father himself is Krishna's expansion, that's there. But yes, he finds that it's a prime duty for me to encourage Parikshit Maharaj. This is how anytime we talk to somebody, somebody is asking question and we are preaching whatever. It should be, we should simplify the process so much that they should not find any more complication in executing the devotional service, Prabhu's Mataji. Many times what we do is we complicate it even beyond their expectation, that people are like, oh my God, this is too much for me. And then we say this run away. So that should not be the case. We should simplify it. See, suppose Prabhu, you are asking us to read Bhagavatam, it is 18,000 slokas. No, it's not 18,000 slokas. It's only 335 chapters. If you look at the number of slokas, it is too huge. But if you look at number of chapters, it is much less. And if you take one chapter, it's hardly 30-40 verses, which is nothing much. You just break it into smaller thing and then give them. That is why we will encourage them. Now, the encouragement is so beautifully said here. It's even more expanded here so very beautifully. In the second paragraph, Prabhupada writes very nicely that these 6-7 relationships are there. These relationships are so beautiful. There is another shloka in how should I say this? In the first canto, for 1:16:16. If you take up that shloka, it's exactly the same thing, where you will see the devotee, actually Parikshit Maharaj, this is before the curse, is immaculately ruling the kingdom and everybody is satisfied with his services and management. That is also service. Managing, administering, this is also service. So when he goes, wherever he goes, the onlookers or the citizens, general mass, they all glorify his grandfathers. How close, how much they were devoted to Krishna, that Krishna had to do all these services to them. He was waiting for service. Who? Krishna was waiting for serving his devotees. Now you see this sloka is so very beautiful. Saratyapara Shadasevana Sakya Dautya Virasananu Gamanastavana Pranaman Snigdeshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatincha Vishnor Bhaktim Karoti Nrupate Sharanaravinде. See how beautiful it is. This verse is spoken in regards to the people who are actually glorifying Parikshit Maharaj's grandfathers and their relationships with Krishna. This is the relationship. Sarathi, he accepted the post of a driver. Parashada accepted that president as the chief president of that Indraprastha Rajaswagya. Sevana, he was engaging always in serving. Sakya, he was so much being as a friend that he engaged Arjuna and all others in a friendly relationship. Then Dautya, he accepted the post of a messenger, Pandava Duta, very famous. Virasana, he was in the entire 18 days of battlefield, the Kurukshetra battle, he didn't sleep at all. Why? Because throughout the day he will be fighting, he will be there as the charioteer. And in the night, he will take care of the horses and put them to rest. And then he will be sitting as a security guard in front of the Pandava camp. Because the opposite camps, they had this thing of sending spies to understand what is their strategy for the following day. So because Krishna is sitting there all night, nobody could dare come inside and check what they are planning. So which means practically 18 days he didn't sleep at all. So that is watchman thing, drawn sword at night. And Anugamana, he was following in the footsteps, like the Yudhishthira Maharaj elder to him. He was praying to them. Kunti Maharaji, Maharani, Vidura, everybody he was offering his prayers to them. Savana again, Pranaman, offering obeisances. All these things were supposed to be done by the Pandavas to Krishna, but because of their pure devotional service without any expectation, and Krishna was doing all these things to them. So the key word here is Snigdeshu. This word is so beautiful because the only quality which attracted Krishna and made him do all these services to the Pandavas is Snigdeshu, and to them who are malleable to the will of the Lord. Malleable to the will of the Lord means in whatever way Krishna wants, they will flexible. They are flexible to the will of the Lord. Like gold is considered to be the malleable. That is why You just put it in the fire, and whichever way you want, you bend it, it will bend accordingly. Clay is malleable. You can easily make any shape out of it. So we also, if you are also like a clay, then Krishna will make a beautiful person out of us. Whichever way Krishna is engaging us, we will be happy to engage. No no complaints, no grudges, no cribbing, nothing. See, Jagat Pranatim cha Vishnu, that's a beautiful word here. The whole world is obeying Krishna's, Vishnu's order, Krishna's order, but Krishna is obeying his devotees' orders. This is the most beautiful thing. That's why this verse, it reminded me of this verse. Because Bhaktim Karoti Nripatin Sharanarvinde means simply by thinking about this relationship between Krishna and his grandfathers, Parikshit Maharaj went into transcendental ecstasy. Now we are also discussing about these discussions, these relationships between Krishna and his pure devotees. We also become very happy, very blissful hearing this. Even though we may not have that same exact relationship with Krishna, but others are having the relationship with Krishna. We are happy to hear that, isn't it? This is how the connection is. And this is also the service. The service which somebody is doing to Krishna, if we hear about that service in a favorable way, that is also a service. That is why Shravanam is the first and foremost powerful one. So when Parikshit Maharaj heard this, by hearing this only, he became overwhelmed in devotion to the lotus feet of Krishna. We will also be overwhelmed in devotion when we hear these verses, these beautiful verses. This purport is so beautiful. If we can just scroll up, Prabhu, this purport is the most wonderful purport which we can really meditate again and again. See, this is the beautiful thing. Lord Krishna is everything to the unalloyed devotees, like Pandavas. The Lord for them was Supreme Lord, spiritual master, worshipable deity, guide, charioteer, friend, servant, messenger, and everything they would conceive of. And thus, the Lord also reciprocated the feelings of the Pandavas. This is the beauty. Krishna, Pandavas are feeling that, Krishna, how can we serve you? We want to serve you so that you can be pleased. Krishna is saying, yes, I am pleased with your service. No, it is my turn to serve you. Please accept this seva. What is that seva? Go and fight in the battlefield. Go to forest. When you are lost in the dice game, gambling, without speaking a single word, just obey and just leave that place. These are all service Krishna is giving, and they are happily accepting that seva, even though it may be the most heartbreaking thing for us. Now I am giving you a service of killing your own Pitamaha, teacher, and everybody. Now I am going to give you a service of ruling this world in my absence. I am going to leave. Now you have to accept that also. Everything they will accept. Maharaj Parikshit, as a pure devotee of the Lord, could appreciate the Lord's transcendental reciprocation of the feelings of his devotees. And thus he himself also was overwhelmed with the dealings of the Lord. You know, how Krishna saved me in the womb. That is what he's thinking about. Simply by appreciating the dealings of the Lord with his pure devotees, one can attain salvation. This is what we were just discussing. The Lord's dealings with the devotees appear to be ordinary human dealings, but one who knows them in truth becomes at once eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. The Pandavas were so malleable to the will of the Lord. Again, this part Prabhupada is coming to this beautiful word, malleable to the will of the Lord, that they could sacrifice any amount of energy for the service of the Lord. And by such unalloyed determination, they could secure the Lord's mercy in any shape they desired. Any shape. Krishna, you be my Sarthi. Krishna, you be the Pandavaduta. You be the security guard. Everything Krishna was ready to accept. Why? Because when Krishna said you have to do this, you have to do that, without any crips or complaints, they were accepting. They were flexible. Today you go to Indraprastha, you will be thinking that I will stay there for 20 years. No, now you have to lose it and again go to forest. Yes, okay, Krishna. Where is the service? Wherever you go, you give me service. That's enough for me. To sacrifice any amount of energy. They got the Hastinapur. After that, the Duryodhana freaked out. And then again, they had to be sent to this desert place. And again, they have to build everything from scratch. They didn't complain. And after building everything also, within a couple of years, it was also snatched away by Duryodhana. No complaints. Malleable to the will of the Lord. This is exactly how we can build our relationship with Krishna. So these two verses are so beautiful in developing that relationship with Krishna, nurturing our relationship with Krishna through unalloyed devotional service, or completely malleable in devotional service. Okay. I'll stop here, Prabhu's Matajis. Any other questions, comments? You can go.
Excellent, Prabhu, after a long time.
Hmm.
Only last one question I asked you.
Yes, Mataji.
What is your explanation of Bhagavad Gita? Verse number 15 in 8, chapter 1. And one more thing, what I came across is
What
only
is that
one I
verse?
read about it. Yes, Prabhu.
What is that verse? 15 chapter 8 verse or 8 chapter?
Mamupetya punarjarma dukkhalayam ashashvatam, Prabhu.
Yeah. Mamupetya punarjanma dukalayam ashashvatam. Is it? 1 minute. Sansiddhim paramam gatima. See which verse is it? Yes. Mamupetya punarjanma dukalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanah sansiddhim paramam gata. What is the question in this verse, Mataji?
So, this place, we always say it is Dukkalayam Ashashvatam, no, Prabhu. So
Correct.
now you tell that we have to come back again. Is it wise to come back?
Again, it is consciousness. You don't come as a karmi, you come as a bhakta.
Okay.
Otherwise, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, I will stay here only. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, I will come back again wherever you want me to go.
Okay.
Brahma is also praying like that. Why devotees are praying like that then? Are they eager and anxious to come back and enjoy the material things or what? No. Okay. Even the Devatas are hankering that somehow or other we will come to the Bharatvarsha. Swargaloka is not the best place for devotional service. Isn't it?
Yes.
That's
today when I listened to your lecture, I've read only one article of yours about Avanti Brahmanas state. The explanation you have given there is amazing, Prabhu. Now, after listening to this, I can correlate and then I can understand that better, Prabhu. Thank you so much for the wonderful lecture.
Prabhupada's mercy, Mata. Thank you.
Thank you
for these wonderful questions, Mataji. So you got the point here, right?
Yes,
they don't come back means they don't come back as a karmi to enjoy the birth, death, old age, disease. For devotees, they don't care for these things. These are all formalities.
Okay.
Yes, formalities means we don't need. Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry, Prabhu, 1 minute. Balaji Govind Prabhu asked some question here when we are discussing. After leaving the body, do we have any options to select service to the Lord? That's what you are telling, Prabhu, that the best devotees don't select anything. Whatever Krishna gives, they accept. If Krishna gives them the choice,
we will. No, what I want to understand is, suppose after leaving the body, you told that the devotees generally they will decline the 5 kinds of mukti.
If there is no seva.
Okay, in that case also, do we have options like that?
No, Krishna, see, devotees don't ask for options. But if Krishna gives them options, then what devotees will do is you only give whatever is best.
Okay.
There is a beautiful verse, 4:20-31, prayer by Puttu Maharaj. Tanmaya yadha janaisha khandito yadan yadashastaritatmano buddha yatacharet balahitam pita swayam tata tumevar hasis naha samikhatum. What he's saying is, Krishna is asking what benediction you want, but our Prithu Maharaj is telling so beautifully that yatha charet balahitam pita swayam. Just like the father knows better than the son what is best for him, not waiting for my demand or anything. You please, whatever is the best thing you think best is give me. That is nothing but opportunity for seva.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
That is how we see that. So here, like this, everywhere you will see that the devotees are always leaving the choice back to Krishna. You give whatever you want. If you give me choice, my mind will start doing comparisons and all these things. I don't want that.
Okay.
So thanks for that nice question, Prabhu. I think Sankarshan Prabhu also asked one more question here. When we say devotional service, I understand it's pure devotional service, not the devotional service hidden agenda. So yes, that is the pure devotional service, Prabhu. You are right. Yeah, just whatever way you want to engage, you engage as Krishna. That's perfectly fine for us. That's how it is. And then, yeah, now somebody was asking a question. I interrupted them. Yes.
No, I was asking, Prabhu.
Okay,
Balaji
Prabhu.
Guru.
Is it a different question or the same question,
No,
Prabhu?
same question, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Nice,
Hare
nice question. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
pranam.
Dandavat pranam, Mataji.
Thank you very much for your wonderful class, Prabhu. Prabhu, I have this question. Prabhu, I understood what you were telling. It's a beautiful feeling. But Prabhu, in this material world, due to old age and diseases, we cannot do as much service as we want now, Prabhu. So it's better to go back to God, now, Prabhu.
We can do that, but what we have to do is we have to patiently wait for the time till Krishna gives that indication. When my spiritual master, son of Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, in the last days, last 2 months, there was like little treatments, more than treatment, he was just staying there actually. They said, we can't do much treatment now, it's old age and all these other things have come. Then at one point, actually Maharaj was so much having the pain, breathlessness, this whole body is paining and all that. All night he could not sleep at all, and he couldn't breathe, he couldn't speak. So he just motioned to the devotees to keep chanting Bhagavatam, reciting Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavatam. So all night he had so much intense pain that the devotees were continuously read, but nothing could be done. Everybody's pain we will have to go through. So all the way till the morning it was going on. This whole body was like shaking like that, jerking kind of a thing, and it was feeling so much pain, and felt like devotees felt like it's the last day for Maharaj. It happened 1 month before Maharaj departure actually. 26th or 27th, 25th or 26th December 2009. So at the end of the morning, when he because of the Bhagavatam and other thing that they were doing, chanting, he little bit all right. He was able to speak a little bit. At that time, he said very interestingly, yesterday night I was ready to go. I decided to go. But it cannot be my independent decision. I had to wait for Krishna's order, Krishna's final instruction. So if he wanted me to stay in this body with all the pain and still continuing to preach whatever service I can do to him, I was willing to do. And if he wanted to take me also, I was ready to go. So that's when he said, I had to listen to Krishna's order. Then these things kind of went on. So this is one place where Maharaj told us that even though you may have a desire, a pure devotee will not execute that desire until he gets a sanction from Krishna to follow that service, to go in that direction. So one may say that, I can't hear what Krishna is saying, but when you read Bhagavatam, when you read Bhagavad Gita, the instructions are there. That's if you say that is generic, then we get specific instructions from the spiritual master. We get specific instructions from the senior Vaishnavas. So we should learn to see those things. That's where we and slowly when we mature, my Guru Maharaj always said this thing that when you become mature, you will be able to hear the voice of Paramatma in your heart. And eventually you will realize that Paramatma is no one else but the Guru Maharaj himself. In other words, Guru Maharaj is not different from the Super Soul. Bhagavatam says 429, Prabhupada writes beautifully in those purports. So I hope that helps.
Yes, Prabhu. So waiting patiently is also an austerity.
It's an austerity. And in that meantime, we should not simply wait. We should continue doing our Shravanam Smaranam.
Yes.
That is the only way that will reduce the material pain. Otherwise, the material pain is so intolerable that we may not be able to remember Krishna also in such cases. Body pain is really unbearable. Just small things we are not able to bear. When the soul has to leave the body and is deciding to what all kind of diseases come, so horrible, really.
Yes,
So
Prabhu. Thank you so much,
Bhagavatam is the
Prabhu.
only encouragement. Thank you, Mataji.
Dandavat.
Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much. Wonderful question. Any other question, or should we stop here? Prabhu's Mataji. Sankarshan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji. It was a very wonderful and very interactive session. There are so many, I think, points to take away, but I think one of the important point is that we have to nurture the relationship with Lord Krishna through our devotional service. And also you mentioned how glorious the devotional service is. And how actually devotional service helps in nurturing the relationship.
Yeah.
Very beautiful, Prabhuji. So I have no words to say.
All glories to Prabhupada, Prabhu. If not for his wonderful purports and translations, it's we have to read in between the lines, then we will understand the whole thing. So
actually, just want to share one thing, Prabhu. I think we are reading the Jaladuta prayers of Srila Prabhupada on every Wednesday. Yes, Prabhuji. So in that, actually, Prabhupada quotes that specific verse where, I don't know why you sent me here. I'm just willing you to be a puppet in your hand. I will do whatever you want to do. So actually, this is actually pure reflection. Prabhupada is expressing his...
This is how he is expressing his relationship with Krishna. Make me dance the way you want me to.
Yeah, exactly.
Like keep our hands loose and raise it. Krishna will make us dance nicely. So it's really wonderful, Prabhu, this feeling, especially when the body is giving away. Our prayers and devotional service should be even more intense in terms of consciousness, I'm saying, not just the bodily thing, but in terms of the consciousness. Body may or may not cooperate, but consciousness will have to be fixed. That is when the body is all right, only we have to make our consciousness steady. If you don't do that, then when the body is breaking off, at that time, very difficult to get the consciousness.
Yeah, Prabhuji. I think that's why, to taste the old age, to give a taste of old age, I think Krishna is giving disease in between to see, how well we are prepared and ready to face to the old age.
Really good point. Yeah. Maharaj used to say, very interesting, there are two kinds of diseases. One will come, show something to us, so they will relate it to us and go away. That usually comes in the early days, younger age. But there are another kind of disease that will come to take you away. That will come in a little late, whenever our time is up. So we should identify that. And for that, there is no solution. You can't go to any doctors. The only doctor is Vaidya Narayana Hari. You just go to Krishna and he is our only doctor.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Thanks for the clarity, Prabhu. Lot of clarity we got from this class today. Because Mataji asked so many questions which I also had, so got especially consciousness, Prabhu. So much we could understand. Thank you so much for the lecture.
Thank you, Mataji. Really appreciate it.
Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, I really like always our South Bangalore group, the eagerness, the approach towards Bhagavatam is very positive and very full of enthusiasm. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, devotees. We spent close to 1 hour and 20 minutes. It didn't look like 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. I have another one, a couple of hours time. So nice that we are starting the Dwadasi day with a beautiful. And I'm thanking you for this nice shloka, Prabhu. These are shlokas which I enjoyed very much every time I read. And more important is this. We don't understand, we don't see this mukti in an inferior way as normally some fanatical people will do. But our focus is only on the service. Having said that, if Krishna gives mukti along with service, devotees are ready to take it. That's what is the point. Mukti also they don't hate, but as long as there is service opportunity, no problem. Whatever you tell me, I'm happy to go and sit with the impersonalists and do also, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat with the Prakashana Saraswati team and spoke Bhagavatam. Like that we can do. For devotees, no problem. Wherever he sends them, we'll go. So everything is included. Not that we are just hating this and liking that. No, that Raga Dvesha is not there. Vimukta is. Okay, that will stop, I think. Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. We will end with Vaishnava Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyeva
Vaishnava ki jai.
Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anta Koti Vaishnava ki jai.
Have a great day, great weekend.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, devotees.